When will the Niners draft a cornerback?
If they don't trade up for a quarterback or no quarterbacks are available at 12, this is where I see them selecting a cornerback. There's a lot of good corners in that range between Surtain and J.C. Horn. There's a lot of playmaking corners, and this has been a need for the 49ers for so long. They have not had a young, electrifying cornerback in my lifetime. It's been that long. Really, I'm trying to think of who's been the last young, really good corner. There's been a lot of good veteran cornerbacks that have come in, but they haven't really drafted any cornerbacks that have panned out early on in the draft. So that's the position I would look to draft if quarterback or if no quarterbacks are really available there at 12.
Not an Ahmed Plummer guy, I guess, Nick.
I was like 2-5.
We'll move on from that fun era. But I really like Paulson Adebo from Stanford. I think he's 4th round, and if 3rd or 4th round, if he was there, or Elijah Molden to fill that slot role if K'Wan Williams doesn't re-sign. Those are kind of the cornerbacks I've been looking at, because I just don't see this regime going corner in the 1st round. It'd be cool if they drafted Surtain or Farley or J.C. Horn, but I think it's going to be 3rd or 4th round guy.
Muted.
Looking at the guys that they've talked to right now, the highest rated guy that they've met with so far is Asante Samuel Jr. Not sure where he's going to fall, but right now when you look at least the guys that they've talked to that are known that they've talked to, they're mostly in the middle, like probably a little bit later on. And Matt probably knows about the guy out of Oregon, Lenore. So that's one of the other guys that they've talked to as well. I don't know anything about him, but where he'd go.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners haven't drafted a cornerback before round 3 since 2002, I want to say. 2004. Shante Spencer, I think, was the last one. Maybe it was 2004. I don't see that changing. I think that's an organizational thing. I think that's a Parag Marat thing. They feel that they can get better value later. They drafted Ahkello Witherspoon in the 3rd round. He's gone. They could replace him. I'm thinking maybe not all the way at 103 or whatever where they draft in round 3, but they have all those day 3 picks. They might trade up, target someone in the middle of round 3 and move up and get. I have no idea who that would be. Maybe the kid from Cal, Bynum. Someone big, though. Someone 6'2" or bigger, because they need someone that big. They don't have someone that big. Real quick, D-Loke says, why not sign AB at wide receiver and roll the dice? I think he's chasing a big payday in his future, and he's cheap. I don't know. Why don't we ask the Raiders? It seems like if you don't have Tom Brady or someone who commands that level of respect at quarterback, it's probably not a good idea to bring in Antonio Brown. Yeah. Unless he's just a totally different person now. I don't know. Maybe he's different.
Well, maybe. Is Garoppolo all of a sudden going to start throwing the ball down the field if he's the quarterback?
Yeah, you think he didn't like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is actually pretty good.
I'm just going to say, so remember last year I wrote that article about why the 49ers and Antonio Brown were perfect for each other. And what ended up happening, I saw it happen with the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, but I kind of saw what happened if the 49ers needed a veteran wide receiver down the stretch. Of course, they never signed Antonio Brown. They didn't end up making the playoffs, but he contributed on that Super Bowl run. So I think that's a good point that you laid out, Grant, that Jimmy Garoppolo does not command the same kind of respect as Tom Brady, demand the same sort of excellence. And I think that's where Antonio, he should just go back to the Buccaneers because he has that great relationship with Brady, but I love the idea of adding a high ceiling veteran to this young 49ers receivers group. But I'm not as sold as I was last year at this time that it would really work out for both parties in San Francisco, for Santa Clara.